Welcome to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is October 28th. Oh, and I'm kind of hoping you remembered to hit that share button, and I'm hoping you remember to hit that like button, because if you didn't remember to hit the share button, you didn't hit the like button, no one's going to watch the show. So hit the buttons. Of course, you can also comment live during the show, if you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class by going to Investor Schooling. In fact, you can come tonight, and you can even watch a class tonight, and you'll learn from those who do it every day. So on today's show, we're going to be discussing the market update. We're going to be talking about how housing market is cooling down. We're going to be talking about Facebook changing their name to Meta. This is interesting. We're going to be talking about Ford stock kicking ass. Is the economy slowing? And we're going to be talking about the border crossing reward. This is so awesome. You can make money crossing the border. Wait till I tell you about this. Oh, it's amazing. All right, so the Dow and the S&P, let's talk a little bit about that first of all. The Dow Jones, 238, almost 239 points up today. The S&P up almost 45 points, and the NASDAQ up 212 points. Wow, that's amazing. So it's been a pretty good day. Honestly, and I don't know if you saw this, but this morning, everything I had was down, and the Dow was up a little bit, but then it really kicked up. As we moved into the late morning, my stocks actually started coming back. And by the way, I actually believe Apple is a big part of this move. Apple is going to announce their earnings today, and actually in just a few minutes, and I believe the market's pumped for a good report from them. I believe it will be a good report for sure, and of course, as soon as it comes out, I'll let you know. But I think it's amazing. I think Apple's going to kill it today, and we're going to find out. I'm not sure if the stock's going to go up, though, because that's a common problem is the stocks don't always go up. But I think it's going to kill it, and we'll see right now. All right, let's talk about the current housing market. So pending home sales, which is a measure of signed contracts for buying existing homes. So in other words, these are people who are under contract to buy their home, fell an unexpected 2.3% in September compared with August, according to the National Association of Realtors. So analysts were predicting a slight monthly gain, and sales were 8% lower compared with September in 2020. Some experts are saying this is because of interest rate increases. Interest rate increases? Interest rate increases. Really? Come on. The average rate for a 30-year fixed loan is currently 3.45%. This is compared to about a month ago when it was 3.3%. Seriously? This is why the analysts think housing is slowing? They're more insane than Crazy Eddie's prices in the 80s. Here's my take. There's several factors slowing home sales. The biggest one is President Braindead himself. His policies are literally scaring people from committing to buying a house. The average person is fearing a coming recession and does not want to be stuck in an obligation like a mortgage loan. Another reason for the slowdown is the election next week. Seriously, think about this. Some people just don't want to live in a communist state like New Jersey. They feel governors like Murphy are going to be reelected. They'd rather go to a state that still follows the Constitution. States like Florida or Texas. These people are hoping for a change, and if a Republican gets voted into their state, they may actually settle or stay there and buy a house there. But if not, they're going to move. So they don't want to buy a house now. They want to see what's going to happen in the election. Another reason simply is the pent-up demand is over. A year and a half ago, your dictator governors like Murphy and Wolf wouldn't allow you to buy a house. That's right, they literally shut down the entire real estate industry, and so many people who wanted to or were going to buy a house weren't allowed to. So there was the pent-up demand. It was like a rubber band being pulled back and then let go. Of course, another reason is simply that prices are really getting out of hand. This is leading to people not only feeling they can't afford a house, but simply saying, hey, that house really isn't worth that price. I know, I put a bid on 3 houses this week, and wow, it was bad. So no, it isn't a 0.2% increase causing housing to slow down. It's simply just fear. That's what it's all about. It's just a fear. All right. So here's my suggestion. If you really want to move into a new house, go do it. Primary residences are not supposed to be investment vehicles anyway. That's the truth. Matter of fact, they don't even count them when they talk about your gross, that thing. Man, I gotta get off those pills that Braindead's on. Your net worth. All right. They're just your living quarters, your domicile, your home, your crib. Go ahead and buy it. In fact, you buy a home and have trouble paying for it, you actually get to stay there longer than if you rent a home. Evictions are typically 30 to 45 days after you miss your rent payment, where foreclosures are typically 2 to 3 years before you lose your home. So go buy a house. Don't worry about it. It's fine. All right, so here's some big news today. Here's some amazing news today. Facebook is no longer Facebook. Huh? That's right. Facebook today announced that it will change its company name to Meta. Yes, Meta. The name change, which was announced at the Facebook Connect Augmented and Virtual Reality Conference, reflects here you go. The Augmented and Virtual Reality Complex. That's exactly what Facebook is, by the way. It reflects the company's growing ambitions beyond social media with the metaverse. I talked about this last week when we discussed that Facebook wants to create what they're calling the metaverse. The metaverse was actually a sci-fi term that was used to describe working and playing in a virtual world. Do you remember The Matrix? This was the metaverse. I often said that Skynet in the movie Terminator was really Facebook, and the future guy really came here, and he came back and he just didn't want to tell anybody that it was Facebook that was Skynet because he didn't want to change the course of history. Anyway, that's clearly what it's turning into. Think about it. We have billionaire mega company owners going into space. We have other billionaires shaping the transportation world, right? And now Zuckerberg is going to create the metaverse. Forget Biden. He's small potatoes. These guys are, wow, what they're going to do to the world. Huh. All right. But seriously, this is going to be interesting. Facebook is also changing, as I said, their symbol to Meta, M-E-T-A, to reflect the change and direction in the company. I'm going to say it's actually scary or exciting stuff, or both, right? Facebook or Meta or whatever popped 13 points after the news, and in fact, it actually swung 25 points from the bottom today. Man, I looked at it when it was at 305, and I'm like, I should jump in, and I hesitated. The next thing I knew, it was up. And the next thing I knew, it was up. And then it came back down, so it's fine. It's not bad, but hey, there it is. By the way, I just have to tell you that Amazon just announced their earnings, and it badly missed on earnings revenue, giving a disappointing guidance. I guess it's because I didn't buy as much this time. They're down 133 points right now. Ooh, that's rough. All right, let's talk a little bit about something that was up, Ford stock. So let's talk about that real quick. So Ford stock surged about 17% today, fueled by a great earnings report yesterday. The results beat Wall Street's expectations. However, I'm going to tell you the real pop was caused by the aggressiveness in the outlook for the company. Ford is pushing electric cars and is actually saying they're going after Tesla to compete and beat them as the #1 electric car dealer. Okay, slow down a little, Willie Ford. You guys know who Willie Ford is, right? He's the CEO. Anyway, Ford has and always will have a great product, but look, Tesla has that market. It's going to take you decades to catch up to them. Well, anyway, one more thing, Willie. Why did you name that new electric SUV a Mustang? Damn. Man, I love Mustangs, and you guys, now they got this thing driving around, well, I guess it's working because, you can't get them right now. They're all sold out. All right, let's take a quick break, and we'll talk to you in a couple minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. Hey, did you hit that share button yet? I know Tommy hit the share button. I saw it. Hit that share button, share me with your friends. Of course, hit the like button. Let me know you're enjoying this show. And of course, please leave comments and I'll try to respond to them. You can leave your comments on Facebook. You can leave them on LinkedIn. You can leave them on YouTube. Wherever you're watching this show, you can leave them right now. So far we've been talking about how the market's up about 240 points, the S&P up about 45, and the NASDAQ 212. Wow. We talked about how the housing market's starting to cool down a little, but it really is to be expected. We talked about Facebook becoming the Matrix, changing their name to Meta, and we talked about the fact that Ford is kicking butt, and they ruined my car, the Mustang, and they call that electric thing the Mustang. Anyway, we're going to be talking a little bit about the economy slowing down, and wait for this, guys. We're going to be talking about the border crossing reward, and then, of course, the wrap-up, and we'll talk to you a little bit about what stocks I think are some good plays. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the economy slowing down. So the U.S. economy grew at a 2% rate in the third quarter, and this is the slowest gain since the scandemic recovery. Supply chain issues are certainly becoming an issue, as well as fear, as we discussed in this segment in the real estate market. We talked about that before, how the fear is making people, they're getting a little nervous. Anyway, consumer spending, which makes up 69% of the $23.2 trillion economy in the U.S., increased just 1.6% pace for the most recent period after rising 12% in the second quarter. Look, I got to be honest with you, I have a theory on this as well. Have you seen gas prices lately? Oh wait, actually, have you seen... Have you seen those little stickers on the gas pumps with the picture of the president brain dead saying, "I did that"? Are they hysterical or what? I think they're the funniest thing when you pull up to the gas station and he's got the thing, "I did that." It's freaking hysterical. By the way, I ordered 100, and if you want one, I'll tell you what, if you want one of those, I'll give you one. If you type in "Let's Go Brandon" right now, type in "Let's Go Brandon" right now on a comment, and I'll send you one. That's how funny I think these things are. All right. Anyway, let's get back to spending. Inflation is killing the average person, obviously, right? Look, I'm all for inflation because I'm a real estate investor. My houses have gone up in value and my rents are skyrocketing, but last week I paid for a basic refrigerator and stove almost $2,000, and these are no-frills appliances, so this is kind of expensive, right? Another reason for consumer spending drop is the Democrat variant, the Democrat variant, anyway, in different states and cities. The ones where your personal freedoms are no longer valid and you must show a vaccine card to eat or drink in a restaurant. Pay boss, please. Who wants to patronize those places, right? Anyway, please get rid of these fear-mongering Democrats and let's make America great again. Let's go, Brandon! Post it! All right. Check this out. I read this and I read this article today and I could not believe what I read, and I'm still shaking my head. Wait till you hear it. By the way, this is going to be the new commercial that I'm going to be running very soon. It's a commercial for my friend who's a lawyer. So listen to it really carefully. You ready? Here it is. There it goes. Have you crossed the border illegally? You may be entitled to compensation. That's right, if you were inconvenienced because you were separated from some of your family members while being detained because you broke the law and crossed the border, you may be entitled to compensation. Yes, folks, this is real. The moronic Democrats are considering compensating people by paying them, wait, guess what? $450,000 if they were affected by what they're calling Trump administration's zero-tolerance policy in 2018 for asylum seeking illegally crossing border people. $450,000. Who says crime doesn't pay? These people are busting into our country illegally and are actually suing the government because we told them not to come in, and they did anyway. And we had a president with the balls enough to say, sorry, you come in, it's not going to be a good thing for you, stay away. Anyway, many of the lawsuits are describing the lasting mental health problems for the children from the trauma of the months without their parents and harsh conditions including anxiety, a fear of strangers, and nightmares. I say the parents should be sued and jailed for child abuse. These parents exposed their children to harsh environments and days without rations just so they could try to cross the border to enter our country illegally. Yes, the world, and especially this country, has gone mad. Well, I guess President Braindead and his band of witches like Pelosi feel they could buy a few thousand more votes by spending our tax dollars on future Democrat voters. So what about Braindead's border policy? Can the illegal border crosser continue to get rewarded for their criminal activity? Do you realize that the families of those who were afraid to cross the border for financial fears have now been incentivized to do just that? Holy cow, what a weird world we live in. Anyway, I'm going to take a quick break. Let's go, Brandon. We're going to take a quick break now. No, now. Investor schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor schooling? Never heard of.
Investor schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Sound. Oh my goodness, we had no sound, and you guys missed my best joke yet. Oh man, how'd that joke go? It said something like, come on down to the border and collect your $450,000. You can do it, come on down. I don't know, it was better when I did it when the sound didn't work. Oh well, you guys missed it, too bad. Just type in, type in something, doesn't matter. Anyway, all right, cool. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what's going on. Of course, hit the like button, hit the share button, and I don't think Apple's results have come in yet. I'm waiting for them. I'm hoping they come in before we end the show, but let's see what happens. All right, so hit that like button. We said hit that share button, of course, and hey, leave some comments. I see you guys here. I know there was no sound. We had a problem. We fixed it already. I appreciate it. All right, let's talk a little bit about some other notable earnings, even though we didn't quite get to Apple yet. Amazon, as we talked about, Amazon did not do well at all. Now, look, that's kind of obvious. Of course Amazon didn't do well because the world's opening back up and not everybody's ordering through Amazon anymore, right? And most importantly, because investor schooling, we finished all of our projects. And, we're not spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on Amazon anymore, so it's really our fault that Amazon went down. All right. We also, of course, Caterpillar had beat the market today, and I think Caterpillar was a good play, especially if the Democrats get their way with the, well, they used to call it an infrastructure bill. Now they're calling it the social something bill that probably doesn't even include any infrastructure anyway. But Caterpillar did really well. They did $2.66 a share versus $220 a share, and that was pretty good. I'm kind of hoping for Apple's earnings, but I'm not seeing it. So we may not get it before the show's over. But I would tell you, I definitely would watch out for that because I think Apple's earnings are going to be really cool. Hey, did you guys buy Shiba yet? I've been talking about Shiba. It hit 88 millionth of a cent yesterday. And I got to be honest with you, I sold half of it. I took a 450% profit. And I sold half of it. And I put it away. I took out of my Coinbase account, I took out, not only did I take out the original money I put in, but but I took out 50% more than I put in. I took it out, kept it, I'm going to go spend it somewhere, and I left in about half of the money that was in there yesterday, and I'm just letting it ride. And also Dogecoin, Doggy Coin, whatever the heck it is, was up about 25% today to 31. Was it 31 cents? I think. Right. So it's pretty awesome. If it keeps going, man, this is going to be great. And look, I don't know. I'm not endorsing Shiba and I'm not endorsing Dogecoin. I'm just saying, hey, it's been working for me and it's been a little bit interesting. In fact, it's some of my best plays of the year. All right, if you've made some money with some of the stocks or some of the tips we discussed on the show, please leave it in the comments so I know. I'd love to hear it. I'd love to find out more. If you're watching this show on a regular basis, let me know as well. And I want to thank you, of course, for watching this show. From time to time, I own some of the assets and the options. He puts up, let's go, Brandon, again. I love it. From time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. Hey, Pedro, you're putting up Let's Go, Brandon. What's wrong with you? Don't you know that if you vote for Biden, you get $450,000? Man, don't you know which side your bread's buttered? Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock.